Hey, Trinity Church family, Pastor Jack here. I wanted to talk to you about something that we're not going to get a chance to address this weekend in our message as we talk about the tough question of spiritual realm issues. We're going to talk about spiritual warfare and the existence of spiritual forces and what we as Christ followers do. And one of the questions that often comes up that I'd like to be able to address in this little supplement is basically this. It is the discussion and the question as to whether or not a true follower of Jesus can really be possessed by something that is demonic or satanic. Can that happen? Is that something that a person who's really given their life to Jesus, is that something that they should be aware of or worried about? Or is that something that can even happen? So let me address that question. And we're going to address the short answer first, and then I'll explain what I mean. The short answer is basically this: no. A true follower of Jesus Christ cannot be possessed by a demon or an evil spirit. And the reason why the answer is no is because possession implies total ownership. It is a state of being where a person is fully under the influence and control of demonic entities, and they themselves are held captive by those entities. But if you're in Christ, however, we learn in 1 Corinthians 6:20 that we are actually bought at a price by the precious blood of Christ. Your issue of ownership, of eternal destiny and judgment have been settled. So, as a follower of Jesus, you belong to Him. As a result, you cannot be possessed by something else. However, I will tell you this: I do believe that a Christ follower can be significantly oppressed by demonic spiritual forces, or can willingly surrender more and more of their lives away until the results actually look very similar. I think of this kind of like what I call renting space. We're all in various states of seeking to submit our lives to Jesus, and James 4:7 says, "Submit yourselves therefore to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you." When we come to Jesus in a relationship, He takes over ownership of our house, so to speak. The deed is passed from the kingdom of darkness and sin and death to Him, and we are then allowed to thrive under His lordship in light and in life. And the more we submit our lives to the lordship of Jesus, the fuller and the more robust the presence of the Spirit of God in us looks. The more we follow and obey Jesus, the more like Him we look, to the glory of God the Father and for our own joy as well. It's like not only does the house belong to Jesus, but then He starts to renovate each of the rooms as well. But here's the thing: you can do the opposite. God still owns the house, but you can choose to give the rooms of your life to renters that are bad news. God owns the house, but your sexuality can be rented to lust and pornography and adultery and immorality. Your finances can be rented to selfishness and greed and avarice and discontentment. Your health and your relationships and your time and your thoughts and your actions can all be submitted to things other than God. And you could find yourself being the manager of a house that is owned by God, but that is in really rough shape because of the continual damage of the spiritual forces that you've allowed to take up space there. If you're a follower of Jesus, therefore, can you be possessed? No. But can you still willingly surrender and submit your lives to things other than the one who bought you at a price? Yeah, you can. And don't be fooled about what happens when we do so, friends. We reap the results. Galatians 6:7 says, "Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows." As true followers of Jesus, then, we cannot be possessed in the strict sense of the term, but we can still suffer the effects of resisting God's lordship in our lives when we submit our lives to things other than the one who loves us and gave Himself for us. I hope that helps as you wrestle through these issues, and we are grateful to be part of your Trinity Church family as we do so together.